Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday. It is Friday all day long, guys. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning into the Oreo Express. Josh here. What is that date, though? It is Friday, the 18th of April. Hope you guys are finishing up your wild week, getting ready for a wild weekend. I know we are here at the Oreo Express, and you'll be riding along with us. Thank you once again for tuning in. If I can ask you to please hit that thumbs up button and share it out. Let's see who we have in the chat so far. Let me get way up here. Trina's in the house. Thank you, Trina. Old Uncle Bill, Susan, Hunter, Pixie. Let's see who else we got here. B. Mikey, our old buddy Cliff. Let's see. Who else? Getting down here a little. Texas Bigfoot. Let me go down to the bottom. And Nola, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, hit that thumbs up. Share this out. It is Friday. We are getting ready to get back on the road once again, but we're going to do a fun Friday show today. I hope you enjoy it. I got a lot to talk about. Letitia James did a little 3-minute interview, and there's something that popped out to me. And we're going to play the interview, obviously. I took down Trump and all this, but there was a question asked, and there was no response. There was I've talked to my legal counsel, and I'm not going to speak on that type of response. Also got a response from Stephen Miller on how corrupt she is. More on our Democrats that want to drink margaritas with these terrorists, these foreign national terrorists. Just amazing the way these folks treat criminal illegal aliens versus American citizens. Dylan jumped in the house. What's up, Dylan? How are you? So there's a lot to talk about today. Dr. Oz sworn in. Also going to talk about the attorney yesterday while we were riding down to the Los Angeles, Chino Hills area. We played you the audio clip of the attorney for the high school student that stabbed and murdered somebody, another student. And we're going to talk about some things he said and how the media has done a good job in lying to you. The media has done a good job in lying to folks. We're going to talk about that. Let's see. Sino's in the house. Check that out. Chris B's in the house. See, it looks like Dylan hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Dylan. Can't say enough of how much we appreciate that. Just looking at something here. All right, so let's just get into it a little. We're going to do a little review of yesterday. If you guys missed it yesterday, we went over to Chino Valley Unified School District, right? Keep saying it wrong, but CVUSD. And it was just interesting, some of the folks that were there and how different the contrast is. We always talk about, like, what puts somebody in this category. Why do they look and act so different? And I'm not saying you could choose to, I got friends that dress all different ways. I got friends that we call, Bum Brian, because you're just like, dude, doesn't matter where we go. Always dress like him. It's just his personality. No big deal. We love him. But when it comes to these folks that are going and fighting to keep males, biological males, in female sports, there's just a little something. This picture, I just want to show you. This was outside. This was some of the group that showed up. And these were all the people also screaming, "Hell, Satan," and some other stuff. Just absolutely insane. But you noticed let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7 of them are wearing face diapers. Again, when they talk about, oh, MAGA's a cult, I beg to differ. Take a look at some of this other stuff. This was a video I took right when I pulled up. And again, I told you guys on the way down there, I was like, at first, we heard a lot of back and forth where this could have been a really big school board meeting. But then when I always check up on things, go to different social media sites, check things out, and I was like, oh, I hope we're not driving down for nothing. Well, when I pulled up and I seen like 5 police cars, and then I seen people wearing onesies and other stuff, I was like, okay, we're we're at the right spot. This is a video I took when we pulled up outside. As you can see, police cars lined out front. And then when you look at like what some of these, oh, let me refresh it. What some of these people were wearing, it's like you're at a school board meeting. Well, hey, you be you, right? Different strokes for different folks. But look at that. Um, I can't explain it. I don't know. What I will tell you is a lot of these people are what we used to call outcast. People that didn't fit into any group. You weren't part of the preppies. You weren't part of the athletes. You weren't part of like the band group. Um, and so they found a welcoming environment with other people who are in the same category as them. Just don't fit in anywhere. Just don't. And they talk about their inclusion and talk about um, how evil everybody is, how evil that parents of females, they have their daughters that are in sports and they don't want them to play against biological males. The daughters don't want to play against biological males. And I don't know, but when we were in there and I knew this would happen, they called for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I took this video. Of course, many of them did not stand up. All these Satanists, I guess you could say, devil worshippers. If you look, all right, ready, begin. On they're not on the path to fixing themselves. They're trying to change everything to accommodate them. And so when we seen that, I was just like, oh man, that's just it. The country, and there's actually a speaker that called him out for this. The country where soldiers have died for you to be there and exercise your First Amendment, to live like a fruitcake and do all these other things, you can't show any respect for. And hey, it is their First Amendment right not to do it. There's no law saying you have to, but I think you guys get what I'm saying here. Someone said that's better, Josh. Hold on. What was going on? Pixie says, I think Josh wanted that yellow purse. Yeah, I felt bad for those people. That one. That was a boy pretending to be a girl. And I'm not finding what that. Um, it's just sad. I mean, their whole future, their whole existence, they're going to ruin their bodies. They're going to ruin their lives forever. One of the things that I thought was interesting is, so when you go sign up for a meeting, you get 1 minute. Each school district does it different. A lot of times we've had our school district and all hell broke loose when they did this. Was they our school district tried to say, oh, we got a lot of speakers. We were allowed to limit it for 20 minutes. So we're going to only listen to 20 minutes. Public comment, 3 minutes apiece. Well, what they do at Chino Valley Unified School District is they go in there and they say, hey, we want to give everybody a voice. So we'll just give everybody 1 minute. And they have the right to do that. So everybody's heard. But you can talk more than once if there's multiple topics. You can talk for open public comment. You could talk on one of the agenda items. So you could talk on 2 agenda items and 1 public comment, and you're speaking for a total of 3 minutes. Well, this gentleman here, a great patriot from Los Angeles, was doing just that. So he was up on his 2nd time to speak, and somebody was outraged about it, screamed "Hail Satan," and then I find out, I didn't know beforehand, he was a teacher. Like, and again, he gets freedom of speech, but you know what? Freedom of speech does not prevent freedom of consequence. And if that was my kid's teacher, I would have it in my son's file to not have any interaction with this person on a school campus. There's a lot that you can do to still fight this. Listen to this.
Different items. Different items.
So here he goes. He goes up and he says, he does his little 666 symbol, which is that right there. And he says, "Hell, Satan." That was a teacher.
Isn't he a teacher or something?
And so it's like, you ask yourself, what has happened to our schools? We need to get some morals and values back into our schools. I mean, you get people like this, you get all the pedophiles, you get all the groomers, you get all the indoctrinators, and the last thing they're focused on is education. Here was another one. I clipped this together last night when I stopped to get dinner. Hold on. Put this together, and this was a compilation of just 3. And if you guys were with us last night watching the school board meeting, you know, we're not doing American Sign Language, JH Candy Bar. It's just, that is part of their cultish behavior. That's what they use to represent it. Just like this, I represent to say A-OK. That is their thing. So we're not talking sign language. A lot of gang members don't use sign language for their gang signs. They do something that was created by their gang. But again, people in girls sports, focused on having men in girls sports or boys, biological males. They all had something in common: the hell Satan. Take a look at this.
Black Lives Matter, Queer Lives Matter, Save the Children, Free the Congo, Free Palestine, Trans Lives Matter, and Hail Satan.
Myra Maldonado.
Yes, wrong. And then, freedom of religion. That's, our constitutional right. And it's a shame how people part of the Satanism religion are treated. That's all I gotta say for my general comment. Thank you.
Byron Gonzalez.
It's shameful that y'all feel the need to make a problem of this. Sonia Shah is not fit to be superintendent of public schools if she literally bullies children and doesn't care about the entirety of the student population. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan. It's sad because I look at this a little different than I used to. I don't want anybody's existence to be burning in eternal hell. I don't. That would make me a bad person for doing it. Now, there is times where I'm like, that person can go burn in hell, right? But in all reality, these people constantly mock Jesus. They mock the religion. They mock the Bible. They were mocking the Bible a lot last night, trying to take it out of context. And I was just like, it was kind of, you sit there and you're like, wait a second here. This isn't about, on their side, this isn't about biological males in women's sports. It's about destroying the Western culture, destroying normalcy, if you will. Check this out. This is right. This was for someone on X. We're going to show you 2 videos of this. It says right now in California, Oregon, and Connecticut, the #1 ranked high jumpers in the girls divisions are boys. Weird how it never happened, and yet here we are. Look at California, Oregon, and Connecticut. And then we got another one. This woman here spoke at a school board meeting. Lucia Mar Unified in California here. I want you to listen to this. And I don't know how people can't hear this and think, well, that kind of is inappropriate. I mean, not kind of. It is, but let's listen to her have to break down and listen to the school board's response.
I must add, hello, my name is Celeste Deist. I am 17 years old, a junior and track athlete at AGHS. Most importantly, I am a woman advocating for the renewal of female rights, which recently has been overlooked and disregarded. I implore all of you to help put an end to this current injustice. Recently, I went into the women's locker room to change for track practice, where I saw at the end of my row a biological male watching not only myself, but the other young women undress. This experience was beyond traumatizing. I must add, he is not changing in our locker room because he's in his track clothes, dressed and ready to go to practice at the beginning of the day. Therefore, there's absolutely no reason for him to be in any locker room, let alone the women's. Adults like yourself made me and my peers feel like our own comfort was invalid, even though our privacy was and still is being completely violated. The individual who identifies as female has XY chromosomes. Biologically, this makes him a male. Because females have XX chromosomes. This is basic biology.
Okay, please wrap it up.
I just want to ask, what about us? We cannot sit around and allow our rights to be given up to cater to an individual that is a man, who watches women undress and is stripping away female opportunity that once was fought for us. Sadly, we have to try and regain our rights again. I hope you put effort into the restoration of our school safety. Thank you for serving our community.
Did you hear what that lady said in the middle of it? Okay, please wrap it up. That was a board president there. Lucia Mar Unified School District. Now, when I see this is when I go gangster and I lose some viewers. Because you know what? I was in this fight and been in this fight. How old is Bailey now? 2018. So for at least 13 years. This is what got me into the fight in a major way. This was happening in my school district, a very conservative school district. And I remember all the dads, all you macho men says, not in my daughter's school. That'll never happen. And it's been going on for 13 years. And we have to depend on mama bears because there's too many cowardly men out there that won't take a step and go to Sacramento. Why isn't 20,000 fathers in Sacramento on a daily basis take the damn time off work, do something? This has gone way too far. There's so many mama bear clubs out there that do so much more. And I'm not talking stay-at-home moms. Many of these women work. And there was men there. There was some great activists out there. I'm not saying this particular one that we went to yesterday. I'm saying all over. I'm saying in Clovis. I remember sitting there on the soccer field. Oh, that won't happen. That happens over my dead body. I'll whoop someone's ass. Never seen you at a board meeting. Where you at? Man, must not be daddy's little girl. Must not be daddy's little girl. Must be the government's little girl, because that is sickening. That is disgusting. And again, she said the boy that uses the female locker rooms is already dressed out when he gets to school. So he just goes in the locker room and stares at her while she's unchanging. No reason for him to be in there other than he's a pervert. But hey, don't worry, dads. Don't worry, dads. Kick back. We got football season coming up. We got football. Just absolutely disgusts me when I think about this and when I watch stuff like this. Because again, I'm sorry to the women out there, but again, the men created men have fought and done a lot for this country with the support of their women, right? They have led businesses, they have done so many things. But when it comes to protecting their daughters and their sons for that matter, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know what happened to them. I went to every school board meeting when my daughter was in school for about, I don't know, 3.5 years. And I would get there early and I'd like, man, hopefully today we can break 150 people. And we got there a couple times. And the sad part is 85% mothers and grandmas. Where the hell are the men? You need to stand up because this is only getting worse. Now, I will say this. What Chino is doing right now is awesome, is absolutely awesome. Because, again, this could have a long-term effect. If you don't know what one of the items were, all their things on there that passed 5-0 were excellent. And Sonia Shaw is an amazing advocate for our children and especially our young women. But one of the resolutions were to call on the federal government to hold California accountable for violating Title IX. So this school district is like Gavin Newsom and Rob Bonta. They want this. They're the ones that are fighting us. They want to keep pornography in schools. They want to keep biological males and female sports. We need help protecting our girls. So they're asking for the federal government to step in. If the federal government steps in, that could set a precedence for every single school in California. If you live in California and you've been asking your school board to do this, because I'm going to go and I'm going to call out my school board. And I'm going to say, hey, this is the resolution bringing the federal government into this. We've asked for you to fight, to have a spine and not just sit there. You guys won't take a lead. Get in line and follow the Chino. Bottom line. It's just disgusting. There's some good things. This was Sophia Laurie. She spoke, and I just want you can tell the difference between the two groups. Listen to this.
Play sports. You just have to play. Good evening, Board. My name's Sophia Laurie, former collegiate athlete, 4-year CIF varsity player, and I just want to thank you guys for bringing forward this Title IX complaint. Governor Newsom and the California legislature has worked really hard to erase sports, and it's been disturbing to hear tonight people really work hard to make sure male genitalia is exposed in girls' locker rooms, to make sure girls are losing roster spots to boys. And the great thing about Title IX is everyone gets to play sports. You just have to play, males have to play with males and females have to play with females. It's common sense. And it reminded me tonight that I'm on the right side, one, because biology is behind me, the truth is behind me, but the opponents are saying, "Hail Satan."
And hail Satan.
Sad, guys. It's absolutely sad. But that was our breakdown of last night. We might have a surprise for you Tuesday of next week. I got to work on some stuff. As you guys know, we are heading back on the road in a couple hours. Got to pack up the ice chest and do some stuff after the show, clean up around here, and pick up Roberto, and we're going to be back on the road bringing you some 5150 protests. That's what we call them, mentally unstable protest tomorrow. So if you guys want to help out, we would appreciate it. Old Uncle Bill, thank you for your $25 donation last night during the event. And one other person did. It was Old Uncle Bill. And then we got one this morning. Sino just got one on Cash App. Thank you, Sino. Sancia did a donation this morning. And then there was one more last night. What was it from? Let's see. Let's go back to last night. And as always, thank you to HaHa for matching what we got donated last night. I think it was Cash App. Give me one second. I'll make sure I get shout outs. How do I do this? Jackie also did last night. I won't put your last name out there, but Jackie did on Cash App as well. Thank you for your help. We're going to be on the road again today. If you guys do want to help, thank you, Sino, for that. We're going to need dinner and hotel and gas, as always. And tomorrow we will be Northern California. We're going to be having some fun up there, spreading the love. And we'll probably do a drive-in chat tonight, but we might find some areas maybe in the Bay Area to go do just some street live streams, walk down the street, maybe talk to people. I don't know yet. We're not sure what time we're going to get out of here, what the traffic is like. It took us 6 hours and 5 minutes yesterday to get from Fresno to Chino. I was like, wow, the traffic, it was crazy. But so if you guys want to help out, we appreciate you. We can't do it without you. We are 100% viewer funded. That's the only way we maintain what we do. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. We got givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And we also have a Zelle link on our website. Go check out our website. On the front page, there is a donate now link, and our website is theoreoexpress.com. So, and we got some more. Like I said, I might have a surprise for you. I'm working on some stuff, but we'll talk about that on Monday. There's another one that's supposed to be a school board meeting where they're putting forth some resolutions to protect parents' rights and everything else. That is in Southern California, and we might be going there on Tuesday. So Kash Patel said this morning, I can report the FBI arrested another suspect on charges related to attacking Tesla facilities. The individual we believe set fire to multiple Tesla vehicles at a dealership in Kansas City, Missouri on March 17th. This is our second Tesla related arrest this week as our FBI teams continue our aggressive work to crack down on domestic terrorism cases like this one. And so then I seen this came out by FBI Boston, and it says breaking: FBI Boston special agents and our partners at the ATF have arrested Owen McIntyre, a college student in Boston, for allegedly launching a Molotov cocktail at a Tesla facility in Kansas City, Missouri, while home on spring break. Now, I didn't look at let me pull up his name really quick, just see if there was anybody that got any information. But again, this is, I don't know. That's how I spend my spring break, man. See, when I was younger, I didn't care about any of this stuff. You know what it was? It was, let's go drink, let's go shoot pool. If I was single, it was chase women. And these people, they're more focused on burning down Tesla dealerships. I don't know. Different strokes for different strokes, they say. What else? Let's see. Owen McIntyre. FBI arrested Owen McIntyre, a 19-year-old college student in Boston, for reportedly throwing a Molotov cocktail at a Tesla facility. So I guess I have not confirmed because I'm just pulling this up. Usually I do my homework, but they're saying this is Owen. Let's see. There's another one right here. Yeah, that would probably, I'm going to have to guess. I'm going to have to guess and say I don't have to do a whole lot of research. So I am 90%. Let's see. Yep. Owen McIntyre. See what else? That's the ones that we got. And that was the picture we showed you back on March, I think it was 18th, the vehicles burning down in front of the Tesla dealership. Lance McIntyre, the family had warning signs but did not act. See the warning signs yourself. Mom had troubles of her own and failed her child. So let's see. Man, these people are just absolutely insane. I tell you, I have a shirt on the website that says "End Trans Terrorism." Maybe I'll wear it tonight in the Bay Area. Check this out. We covered this over a year ago. And Daily Wire reported on this today. It says, after 16 months, the Hamas-loving Department of Homeland Security employee has finally been taken off the payroll. Biden's DHS refused to take action, even as Nuja Ali defiantly insisted she absolutely supports terrorism. Trump officials fired her in February. Remember this? This is the stuff she was posting. She was actually worked at our Department of Homeland Security. We covered this when it went on, and she's out of a job now. And Josh Hawley reposted this and said, finally, more than a year after I confronted Alejandro Mayorkas about this terrorist sympathizer at DHS, she's off the government's payroll. Good job on Trump administration getting terrorists out of our federal government. There's a lot more to go, I promise you. And scum. Also, Dr. Oz is officially sworn in today. And I want you to listen to something because, again, we're going to go to the 5150 protest tomorrow. And you are going to see people out there 80, 85, 90 years old. People that you've never seen at a protest before. They might be Democrat, but they're out there because they're on at least more than 50%. This is my gut. They're truly scared. The media and Democrats, their representatives in their area have told them that you're losing your Social Security and your Medicaid. And I could understand how people would be fearful. They've worked all their lives. They're now living off Social Security. They get their health care from Medicaid or Medi-Cal in California. And they've been lied to. I want you to listen to what Trump says right here.
Integrative medicine. Thank you very much, everybody. This is a very important day. It's a day that we're delighted to swear in Dr. Mehmet Oz as the next administrator of the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services, which is a big deal. Congratulations to Dr. Oz and his beautiful wife, Lisa, and their friends and family on this really incredible achievement. Come a long way, huh? It's amazing. Dr. Oz comes to this position as one of the nation's most talented and beloved medical professionals. He graduated from Harvard University. Harvard. Well, how convenient. Should we talk about Harvard? Before obtaining his MD at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine, a great one. And really some amazing education while also earning an MBA from the wonderful Wharton School of Business. He completed his medical residency at the world-renowned New York Presbyterian Columbia University Medical Center. Dr. Oz then had a sterling medical career in which he became an internationally acclaimed heart and lung surgeon, highly respected. He served as director of the Cardiovascular Institute and integrative medicine program at New York Presbyterian, and as a longtime professor at Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons. Boy, oh boy, Doctor, I thought he just did a show. I only know the show. You know why I know the show? Because he said, I'm a little overweight. I should lose some weight. I did a show, and that's what I got out of it. That was not good. But I'm looking at all of this other. This is very impressive. Dr. Oz authored more than 400 contributions to academic and scientific publications and holds several patents for technologies that revolutionize cardiovascular surgery. And Dr. Oz later translated his experience into an extraordinarily successful television career, making him one of the most trusted voices on healthcare. And he also got very high ratings, I can tell you that. He did great with the television thing. As CMS Administrator, Dr. Oz will work tirelessly to strengthen and protect Medicare for our nation's seniors and Medicaid for the needy. Just as I promised, there will be no cuts. We're not going to have any cuts. We're going to have only help. Dr. Oz will work to improve the quality of care for decades to come, and he'll ensure that criminals, fraudsters, and illegal aliens are not permitted to rob America's seniors. They are trying, but they're not going to get away with it. He will also work alongside Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I've heard of him. He's a pretty famous guy. He's doing a great job, too, to address the crisis of chronic illness and to make America healthy again. So I want to just thank Dr. Oz, and because this is a big commitment he's making. He has a lot of options, and this is a big, big commitment. And I want to congratulate you and your family.
Listen to what he says coming
really
up.
An amazing life. And I think this is going to be by far the most important part of an already incredible life.
So he said something key there. He said, Dr. Oz will work tirelessly to strengthen and protect Medicare for our nation's seniors and Medicaid for the needy. There will be no cuts. I know Democrats are sitting there lying to you. I know Democrats are going to sit there and say, hey, you know what? They're going to make it hard for you to get. Remember how they started out with Social Security? That Elon and Trump, or they said President Elon and Vice President Trump, this is Democrats, will be taking away your Social Security to give to billionaires. Then they kind of pulled that back a little. And then they said, they're just going to be taking away your Social Security. And then 3 weeks later, they were like, well, they're going to make it hard for you to obtain. So what is it, Democrats? Again, this is like Russia all over again. And I think this is important because, like I said, we will be traveling tonight. We will be going up to a 5150 protest. And these people think their Social Security and their Medicaid are going to be cut, even though it's not in any of the bills. And I've asked them, you guys have seen me right there. I was like, what does the bill say? Well, I don't know. Just like last time we were up there. Well, Elon's lying. He's going to cut everything. What is Elon lied about? Well, I wasn't there talking to him. Well, you're sitting here telling me he lied. And again, because they are believing the fake news, they are believing, again, there is legacy media that is pure propaganda. I don't know if they cover anything factual or truthful anymore. But I think this was huge. But I also want to say, I thought this was really huge too. Listen to what Dr. Oz says. And we've been saying this for quite a while now. I'm going to play what he says, and then I'm going to give you my take on it.
Drug spending is to use less drugs and it is your patriotic duty. I'll say it again, the patriotic duty of all Americans to take care of themselves, because it's important for serving in the military, but it's also important because healthy people don't consume healthcare resources. The best drug spending is to use less drugs because
couldn't agree more. It's your patriotic duty to take care of yourself. I know Democrats want everybody to rely on Big Pharma and rely on that government. But, and I just take you back. What did Democrats want to do during COVID? Lock you up, not allow you to jog, not allow you to be outside your house. They never encouraged you to exercise, even though they had the data and statistics that was better for you. Hey, if you're 25, 30 pounds overweight, your best remedy is to lose weight. Better than anything? Nope, that's not what they did. Democrats said, let's work with Krispy Kreme and give out free donuts if you have a vaccination card. Remember that? It was insane. It was insane. And I'm sure he's going to get tore up for this. But I've said this for a long time. It is your duty. And I've said this again. Our medical system, the reason why our medical system partially is so screwed up is because of this right here. People say, well, why is that? Well, let me tell you why that is. If you have an automobile, you get in a car wreck today and you don't have insurance. Can you call AAA or Geico tomorrow and say, hey, I need insurance? Okay, great. It'll be $500 down. Well, I needed to start yesterday because I got in a wreck. They would go out of business because nobody would have health insurance, right? That's the same thing that we're doing now. We have so many people that do not take care of themselves, that haven't put into the system, that are just going to take. A lot of it, these trans people, do you think these trans people that are at these school board meetings are going to live normal, productive lives? No, they're going to be living off of Social Security disability because they can't function in society. You should be able to claim them on your next year's taxes because that's the truth. But God forbid we exercise. God forbid we do a little bit healthier eating. And again, a lot of that problem, I remember I was watching somebody on Tucker Carlson talking about the food we eat. And I told you guys, we're making this household, we're doing the Make America Healthy thing again around here. I can promise you that. All the junk food's out. Only time we have junk food is like birthday parties or something like that. Then we bring in some junk food. You know, it's okay to splurge once in a while. But I can tell you, I've always been one of those people say, how do you do it? You work 16 hours a day. I've always had energy. But there's days where I was sluggish. But I'm telling you, now that we changed the diet, like when it's bedtime, I'm ready to put in a whole nother 6 hours work. That's where I prep a lot of my shows when everybody's asleep for the next day. I'll sit there for 3 hours. Don't feel tired, nothing. Because again, exercise, eating healthy. But we have a society that promotes obesity. And I'm not bashing people that are obese. There is some people that are obese because they have underlying health conditions. And there are some people that are obese because they don't take the incentive, they don't take the action to get out and do a little something. I encourage everybody to do it. I promise you, after 6 weeks, if you don't feel so much better, a little bit more awake, ready to go, call me a liar. I want to give a shout out. We got a Zelle donation from Michael H. I won't say your last name. Michael H. Thank you so much for that, Zelle. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for ensuring we get a hotel tonight and gas. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. More than you guys know. We can't do it without you, and you guys rock. So I thought that was really interesting that he said it's our patriotic duty. Again, because I'm going to tell you, and I'm not saying that MAGA don't have unhealthy people. Everywhere has unhealthy people. Your weight and your size does not represent your political affiliation. But a lot of times when we go to these leftist events, and I think you guys know, a lot of times I look around and I'm watching people and I'm like, I think that's the waste, abuse, and fraud. I guarantee that person is collecting disability. Why are you collecting disability? It's just like when me and Rachel go to the store. We were having a conversation and we overheard someone about 18 months ago. And this woman was very heavy set. And she was complaining because they didn't have enough of the mobility scooters in there. And I told Rachel, I was like, the best thing for her is probably to walk. Probably to walk. She was not disabled. She did not have a disabled placard because we saw her get in her vehicle. And I'm like, man, there's a certain amount of people that are a drain on society. And I just hope that people do, because like I have friends that are severely overweight, and I pray for them and I think about it. And especially those that have children, I'm like, man, you're never going to see your grandkids. I have friends with diabetes. I lost a friend with diabetes. God, how long's it been now? 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Good friend. And I was in the hospital. We were watching Monday Night Football. He was recovering, and we watched a game. I think it was Cowboys, Redskins or something on Monday Night Football. He said he would be out, and we bowled together sometimes. He goes, yeah, we'll go bowling this week. I was like, all right. The next day, I didn't go visit him. And the following Wednesday morning at like 6:45 in the morning, I'm pulling up to work, and I get a call that he had passed away. He had a major infection in his lungs due to diabetes. And you know what the reason was? He didn't stop drinking. He didn't start eating healthy. He didn't watch his diabetes. And he left his 5-6-year-old daughter without a father. And it's like, man, and don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of stuff in my life that wasn't good for my health. But man, we have an opportunity right now, and you have an opportunity right now. And I think it's time. It's time. I think, what they say, like even our children and our grandchildren, they're not fit enough when they're 18 to serve in our military, like a overwhelming majority. Crazy. Check this out. I want you to listen to this. It's 3 minutes and 43 seconds of Letitia James, but there's one segment in this whole thing that I want you to catch. Take a listen to this.
All of the action against Donald Trump.
Hold on.
Okay.
Open up.
Good to see you, Ms. James. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Errol.
Absolutely. What is going on here? Did anybody contact you before this letter went out accusing you of this, that, and the other and making a criminal referral about real estate transactions?
No, not at all. And let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. And as you mentioned, my office was successful in securing a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump and others for exaggerating the value of his assets. He engaged in a pattern and practice of fraud. And the interest is accruing each and every day while the case is on appeal in the First Department. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have no legal import at all, have no legal significance.
Wait until he
And we
asks
are
the
standing up
question.
for the
Watch
rights
this.
and privileges of New Yorkers and Americans.
Come on, play.
I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
Okay.
And the Office of the Attorney General will continue to stand up.
Here we go.
Let me follow up of some of what's in this this letter. It says according to media reports, which for us in the media is kind of a red flag, meaning that it seems to be based on some social media posts that I know were made by partisan political actors. But just let me ask you about some of the specifics in the letter. They're saying that your house in Brooklyn is a legal 5-family and the mortgage on it is for a 4-family house. Is that true?
So let me just say that, Errol, you know, as any good attorney, I will not litigate this case in a camera. It's important that we will respond to these allegations.
Brooklyn is a legal 5-family and the mortgage on it is for a 4-family house. Is that true?
So let me just say that, Errol, you know, as any good attorney,
As any good attorney, I'm not going to answer that question because I got to deny. So there's already pictures going around the internet, and it's funny how this guy right here is just a liberal hack. Because the truth has come out. We've seen that she has lied on documents saying that her father was her husband, saying that when she acquired these loans, remember, she accused Trump of inflating his assets to get loans and said that was unacceptable and nobody was above the law. There's multiple instances when she bought a house in Virginia saying it would be her primary residence. So when you buy a house and you buy it as your primary residence, it's easier to get a loan, easier to get lower mortgage rates because that is your dwelling. You're not buying it to rent it. You're not buying it out as an investment. She lied. She's the Attorney General of New York. So that wasn't her home in Virginia. There is so many lies here. And I just love the fact that even though he's a liberal hack, he asked her that question and she's like, well, you know, any good attorney, I'm not going to litigate that. Simple question. Did you break the law? You can't answer it. So we know the answer there. I cannot wait for her. And I was talking to my sister last night while I was driving. And I'm going to tell you this. We both say, you know, everybody, most of you in here, we want justice. We want nobody is above the law. But how many people are going to be disappointed if she walks without having a court case, without doing any time, without being a convicted felon like Donald Trump? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, folks. And again, if they're going to prosecute, Trump was the first time they've ever prosecuted a case like that. Trump didn't only pay off his loans where the bank made money, he paid them off early. All the big investors were like, holy cow, I've never seen anything like this. This is political persecution. Now we have the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, who has, seems like, multiple cases of fraud. And some of them have been referred to by experts in this area as a slam dunk case. So I'm hoping we see some justice with this one. This one would be, I'd love to see that perp walk. I want to see that little grin that she had in the courtroom every day. It's going to be wiped off her smug little face. Watch. Listen to Stephen Miller. You got to love Stephen Miller, man. He's one of my favorites.
To hold public office.
Letitia James says the allegations against her are nothing more than a revenge tour by the Trump administration. What's your response?
My response is that Letitia James is one of the most corrupt, shameless individuals ever to hold public office. She is guilty not only of those crimes, but of countless more crimes by using and abusing her public office to try to persecute an innocent man, depriving him of his rights, engaging in a conspiracy to obstruct our election, and to overthrow our democratic processes and procedures. She is guilty of multiple significant serial criminal violations.
Letitia James says...
By the way, Karen, Old Uncle Bill, and Texas Bigfoot, thank you guys for gifting the subscriptions on Rumble. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We can't do it without you all. So thank you for gifting those. And if you guys got a subscription, make sure you give a shout out and a thank you. Again, this is what helps us succeed and keep going on. Stephen Miller right there was just epic. Again, I know there's a lot of things. We could bring up the Epstein client list. There's a lot of things that we need to see. We want to see fast. And there's a lot of things that have been done. I was telling my sister, there's some things I'm not necessarily disappointed in, but I don't have the patience needed to wait for them. And there's other things like the USAID, all these NGOs that are being shut down, the borders completely closed. You look at all Department of Education, all these things I wanted done in the first administration are being done, and I'm going to give them some more time, but it's just absolutely incredible. Now we're going to move on. Yesterday when we were driving, I let you listen to a press conference from the people representing Carmelo Anthony. And we heard a lot of lies out there. They went after the racist and the right wing, saying they were trying to make this political. No, I think they were just trying to say, again, where the privilege lies. One of the things that he said is he brought up Kyle Rittenhouse. And he said he shot 3 people in the back. That's a huge defamation lawsuit. And this guy's no saint. We're going to talk about it. But listen to this.
7 shooting 3 people in the back. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back.
So we all know we covered Kyle Rittenhouse. Actually, we covered every day of his court trial live here from the studio. We covered the incident there. Kyle Rittenhouse one time was getting attacked by a skateboard. I mean, they were out to murder Kyle Rittenhouse, and he did an excellent job of defending himself. Totally different circumstances. But again, what he wants to say is the white man can shoot people in the back and get away with it. Not the case. White man defended himself, and his life has been hell ever since. And then, of course, the other mainstream media lie. Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 black people. They were all white. Soy boy pansies whitey. And one was a severe agitator that night. Remember the video? Remember, F with me, nigga, F with me. Just going off, getting all crazy. 2 of them were pedophiles, by the way. But I'm going to talk about this person representing this. Take a look here. So pretty disturbing. This is the person representing Carmelo Anthony. I'm going to pull this up, and I don't know if you're going to be on it. This is just some of his arrest record. This guy has been convicted of many things. Child abuse. Hold on. What else was it? Let's see. Let me pull this up. I'm supposed to have another one on here. And again, we heard yesterday how they're playing the victim. He's a felon with a history of beating babies and women. He also runs a fraudulent organization that has failed to submit mandatory IRS filings. That's another thing we spoke about on the road yesterday. It's interesting that the family got to move into almost a $900,000 mansion, new Cadillac Escalade, and all he said, well, that didn't come from the Give, Send, Go money. Well, where did it come from? And what it comes from is there's people donating to this person because they need a race war right now. They need a political race war to make a black 17-year-old teenager look as a victim when he murdered somebody. At least that's what it's apparently looking like. What else did just crazy? Let's see. Felony injury to a child, 2009. Forging a check, 2009. Leading police on a high-speed chase, 2009. Stealing a car, 2009. Falsely claiming a car was stolen, 2009. Offensive physical contact, 2015. Probation violations, felony theft of property, felony assault causing bodily injury, 2019. Misdemeanor assault, 2019. Continuous violence against the family, 2019. Theft, making false report, evading arrest. And I'm not saying that a person can't change. I pray this man has changed. I prayed. I could tell you he's on the grift. I've looked into the organization. He's on the grift. It's no different than an NGO or these people that we're going to help out the immigrant community. And they take millions of your dollars, billions of your dollars to invade the country, right? Doesn't seem like anything different here. But again, I want to play a little bit of Glenn Beck. Listen to what he said.
Reduced by a great deal. And now let me tell you who this guy is. He's the guy, he has been trying to, rally a defense for Carmelo Anthony. That's the teenager. He's 17 years old. He's already gotten his bail reduced by a great deal. And he said, hey, I want to sincerely thank everybody for the overwhelming support you've shown. This is just the beginning of a long legal journey, and we'll continue to stand strong in defense of his rights. He has rights, but how are you defending him just stabbing another kid? When he hosted the press conference, disrespect for the dignity, disrespect. His dad shows up to the press conference uninvited. It was disrespectful and just shows all of you the character. The character of what? The character of the dad showing up? Yeah. I mean, I would think I would show up. I want my son's killer to go to jail. I might show up. So it goes viral, and that's when everybody online starts to be a little detective, and they find out some things about him. This guy's X and his Facebook account reveal that he's played a pivotal role in helping mobilize on behalf of Cori Bush's winning campaigns in 2020 and 2022. Bush praised Alexander and his group for their perseverance and dedication, and their commitment to this work is just unmatched. Okay. In 2021, Alexander said it was truly an honor to join Bush as she was sworn into Congress. So this guy that held the press conference and said that just shows the character of the dead boy's dad. Chose a photo. We have a photo now of her, Cori Bush, and Alexander.
So you guys get the point there. He's got some ties, again, deep into the Democrat Party, deep into the fundraising stuff. And this just goes in. So the father of the murdered boy showed up to the press conference. And I had to be with Glenn Beck. That was my son. I would have been there too. And he said that was disrespectful and showed the lack of character. Quit playing the victim. Quit playing the victim. The race card died in the Obama years. It's over. You can play, you can cry. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We get to see. We're thankful that BLM fought to get body cam evidence, because now it just proves everything that the Black Lives Matter and everything else was saying was false. Listen to this.
As Black people or other people
Listen to this. This is where we are at. And I'm going to, I tell you all the time, watch where you get your news, because a lot of people just suck in CNN, MSNBC, and they keep it as the gospel. Listen.
I just want to answer your question. Who killed who or what? Cal Rittenhouse was 17 years old, white boy that murdered two or three Black kids in Michigan during a protest. He was acquitted on all charges.
I'm gonna have to pull this up. 2 or 3 Black kids? Did they identify as Black? Let me see. I know somebody that just posted this. Meme put this up a little while ago. And I just find it just absolutely amazing that we can go through life thinking that this is the case. Hold on. So here's who Kyle Rittenhouse had to shoot in defending his life. Joseph Rosenbaum, convicted felon, sex offender, level 3 offender, failure to maintain register status. Anthony Huber, convicted felon, assault and battery, domestic abuse, false imprisonment, illegal weapon. And Gage, who's changed his name now, Gross Scroots, convicted felon, felony burglary, probation violation. Do any of these people look Black to you? They don't look Black to me. And again, it's 2025. Men are pretending to be women everywhere else. Maybe white folks are pretending to be Black. I always said for reparation purposes, I might do it. But again, these people believe what they're saying because this is what they've been told for so long. Same thing like how Breonna Taylor was such a victim. When you actually looked at the court transcripts and you read through them like we did through the show, you're like, wow, not so innocent after all. But just incredible. So listen to this. Listen to what he says about the victim's father showing up to the press conference.
Has respected the of the father conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf because we respect the dignity of life.
Respect the dignity. Oh, you'd think you. Again, they're playing the victim. They're playing the victim, folks. And then you won't believe what happened after all this. I'm going to show this news article. Again, the left goes out. Those people, those anti-white, anti-American people. Take a listen to this.
Better breaking news and an update on the deadly stabbing in Frisco. Frisco police just confirmed a swatting call was made tonight to an address belonging to the victim's father. Now that's a prank call designed to bring a lot of police to a scene. Tonight, Jeff Metcalf confirms to WFAA he wasn't home when it happened, but he did arrive about 5 minutes later. Now, this is new information, and right now we're working to learn more details. But earlier today, everything stopped and heads turned when Metcalf showed up to a news conference called by the suspect's family. Tonight, Matt Howerton has a desperate plea from Carmelo Anthony's mother.
They came to speak for the accused. Jeff Metcalf came for his son. The father of Austin Metcalf surprised cameras at a press conference in Dallas Thursday, waiting for the mother of Carmelo Anthony to speak for the first time. Anthony, 17, now charged with murder, out on bond after telling police he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense. Metcalf's father asked to leave the press conference, and then it began like this.
The father being at this press conference, These are my words.
So now he's being swatted. The father of a murdered 17-year-old child is being swatted. You guys don't understand. This is what is needed for the Democrat Party right now. They have to play the victim. The same thing. We're going to get into the MS-13 terrorists that we have literally Democrat representatives flying over and having margaritas with. You can't make this up. This is where we are. Democrats have they don't care about you. These elected Democrats, what are they doing for American citizens? Are they trying to work with Trump? Or are they fighting Trump at every corner? Are they saying, hey, Trump, let's sit down and talk about these tariffs. Maybe some will work. We can get behind you and we can fight China together. Nope. They're doing China's work for them. And it's disgusting. Man. So check this out. This was from Bukele. The president of El Salvador tweeted this. Take a look at this. There's a picture of a senator from the United States in El Salvador meeting with an MS-13 gang member, trying to get that MS-13 gang member back into the United States. There they are, hanging out. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. And let me tell you what the post from Bukele says, and we're going to get deeply into this one. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, miraculously risen from the death camps and torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. Now he's being a smartass, guys. Because I think even Bukele's like, holy cow, we were the murder capital of the world. We built these prisons. We put prisoners in prison to keep our community safe. And here you have an elected representative wanting to take one of these MS-13 gang members that we built the prisons for and bring them back to Maryland and let them live some type of life. I just love this. Donald Trump says Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland looked like a fool yesterday standing in El Salvador begging for attention from the fake media or anything. Grandstander. He did look like he definitely doesn't represent American citizens. And again, he wanted the photo op. Remember, we covered the day he went to El Salvador. He was in the back of his Escalade or whatever he was in. He did got his little mic on, his lapel mic, and he was like, oh, we're standing up for this person. We need justice. Donald Trump's evil. Then he does another one on the plane or in the airport. Then he does another one when he lands. And then look at what the Democrats' X page put. Thank you for your leadership, Senator. Now, are we forgetting this is the same senator who was the representative of Rachel Morin, a mother of 5, who was brutally murdered by an illegal alien, never tweeted anything about it, never reached out to the family, never did anything. But here we have somebody who's got a rap sheet, a proven MS-13 gang member. We're going to get into more here in a minute about his background. And this is where we stand now. This is what our elected leaders are doing. If I don't laugh, I'm going to cry because America's going down the drain with these Democrats. This is what his thing was. Senator Chris Van Hollen. I said my main goal of the trip was to meet with Kilmar. Tonight I had a chance. I called his wife, Jennifer, to pass along a message of love. I look forward to providing a full update upon my return. This guy looks... I did not have this on my 2025 bingo card. I knew Democrats were going to fight deportation. I knew they were going to find like the murderer that was getting deported and say, but he was a father. I didn't think they would fly to foreign countries. Not on my bingo card, guys. Not on my bingo card. And you guys know I get a lot of stuff right because, again, These are evil people. They put American citizens last. How many remember this? When we actually had American citizens who were being detained without their constitutional right. People that were born in this country have a constitutional right, and we had our representatives, our elected representatives here in the United States, go to a jail in the United States and was not allowed in. Remember Matt Gaetz? Remember the J6 people? Let's take a look.
This was apparently a bait and switch. We are here just to speak to a What if I put the mask on?
Yeah, true.
They have the doors blocked.
I'm an attorney here to see a client.
This is ridiculous. We have our masks on. Everyone here has their masks on. We're just going to go inside and currently.
Congressman?
Yeah, the door's locked, and again, we're just here to ask questions. And now they've locked the door and have not given us access. This was apparently a bait and switch. We are here just to speak to a supervisor, and when the supervisor came out and we came out to have that discussion, they literally ran behind us and locked the doors.
Oh, now
so
they got
that
their
we
backs.
would have the opportunity to present our identification and seek a review.
This is a rare time under this administration.
There was prisoners in there getting beat down, handcuffed and pepper sprayed, eye sockets broken, living in inhumane conditions on American soil. And that's the response our representatives got when there was a Democrat in control. They don't care about American citizens. It was always for so long, at least from my opinion, and again, I talk from my life experience and what I see and what I read, that it was Democrats who wanted jail reform. It was Democrats that said, no, we need to abolish the prisons. And then all of a sudden that changed about January 6th of 2021. They were all for give them the death penalty. Let them suffer. They were walking around our Capitol. You see the difference here, folks? I wanted to bring this video because, again, I think it highlights a lot. We've been at that front door. We've been at that prison numerous times. And now we have senators flying over, trying to bring back human traffickers, people that when they were picked up, they had wads of cash and drugs on them. Seems like a guy that I want in my neighborhood. I think we got a house for sale a couple blocks away. Maybe the Democrats can do a give, sing, go. They're really big on give, sing, go these days. Just absolutely sickening. Let me pull this down and move on to the next thing. And so much for a fun Friday. I'm all ticked off right now. Fox News has obtained the written domestic violence allegation from Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife in 2021, which she alleges he is a repeat wife beater and writes, at this point, I'm afraid to be close to him. I have multiple photos and videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises he has left on me. Maybe he's changed, right? In her own handwriting, she alleges that Abrego Garcia punched and scratched her on her eye, leaving her bleeding after throwing her laptop on the floor. She writes that on another day, he got angry again, started yelling, and ripped her shirt and shorts off, then grabbed her arm, leaving marks. She also writes 2 times in 2020, he hit her. In November 2020, he hit me with his work boot. In August 2020, he hit me in the eye, leaving a purple eye. This is all on record. This isn't the Trump administration. Listen, actually, I think we have a video of Trump. Listen to this. And it's funny, when Trump was saying this was MSNBC was covering this till he started talking about the criminal record.
Kind of a reporter would like, there aren't enough of them. We got to get some more of them. But no, I appreciate that question. No, look, he's a fake. I know them all. They're all fake. And they have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad. If you would go into the room, you might, if you would, Caroline, maybe go into the room and see if you can find that little slip. I wrote some things down. I don't know why you'd want to keep him, but we got a little biography of him.
Did you help set up that
Not a
meeting?
very innocent guy.
Did you help set up that
on the
meeting,
IRS,
sir?
Mr. President,
in the spirit of Easter Sunday and
While we're on
Good
the
Friday.
subject, right?
Yes, of course.
So you're talking about Abrego Garcia. Is that the one? Yeah. Is an illegal alien MS-13 gang member and foreign terrorist. This comes out of the State Department and very legitimate sources. I mean, I assume I'm just giving you what they handed to me, but this was supposed to be certified stuff. In 2019, Garcia was issued a deportation order. 2 separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13, which is a gang that may be even worse than Tren de Aragua. It may be worse. They kill people with knives because it's more painful. Very famous for the knifing and killing of 2 young 16-year-old girls walking to school one day, and they sliced them up into little pieces and killed them. That's MS-13. And 2 separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13. When Garcia was originally arrested, he was wearing a sweatshirt with rolls of money pouring out, an MS-13 gang symbol that he was driving with 2 other known violent MS-13 gang members, 2 of the most violent members that we know of in the MS-13 gang of thugs. In 2022, Garcia was stopped by the Tennessee Highway Patrol and was found to be transporting 7 people from Texas to Maryland, and he had no driver's license. He was driving violently. In 2020 and 2021, Garcia's wife filed for a protective order from him and said he was violent and abusive and really scary, including allegations that he punched and scratched her on the eye, left her bleeding after throwing her laptop on the floor at her, ripped her shirt, and ripped off her shorts. He then grabbed her arm, leaving very severe marks. Garcia's wife also wrote in court, "At this point, I am afraid to be close to him. I just don't want to be close. I have multiple photos and videos, how violent he can be, and all of the bruises that he's left on me." She just couldn't get anywhere near him.
So think about this for a second. This is who your Democrat senator, your representative, is going to foreign countries for. I love this too, and we're going to get into a little bit more. Is New York Times put out an article, of course, because this was a photo op. This is again how they press their stuff. Oh, hold on, what happened here? Oh, I know what happened. Give me 1 second, guys. This will take a minute to get off. Come on. Let me do this. Okay, there we go. We're back. So again, it was a photo op. New York Times put this ad up, and then they crossed out the stuff on it and wrote on it the Trump team did. Look at this. It says, Senator meets with wrongly deported Maryland men in El Salvador. And this is how it reads after the White House got done with it. Senator meets with deported MS-13 illegal alien in El Salvador, and then added, who's never coming back. That is interesting stuff. New DHS has provided Fox News with a body cam image and an HSI report from when Kilmore Abrego Garcia was pulled over by Tennessee Highway Patrol and was suspected of human trafficking in 2022. Per report, he had 8 people with no luggage in the car with him and claimed to be driving them from Texas to Maryland. I wonder why they would be in Texas. For construction work, every passenger gave the same home address as Abrego Garcia's address. The report says Abrego Garcia was evasive during questioning and had an expired license. He was not arrested or charged with any crime in relation to the incident. DHS says the report has yesterday's date due to redactions made of law enforcement sensitive info. So the Tennessee highway patrol or state troopers literally called the FBI in 2022 on this guy, Biden's FBI, and said, hey, we got somebody. We're pretty confident this is a human trafficking. He's coming from Texas. These people don't have any luggage. The FBI said, take some pictures of him and let him go. Now, this gets even better. We've heard a lot of the police reports.
Have to ask it. You did take out a temporary. Have to ask.
So the wife came up and she's saying, she just keeps pushing the give, send, go. But listen to this. Listen to this. This is almost like Letitia James when she gets an actual question from the press. Oh, I got to refresh that.
Got a temporary order of protection against your husband.
Not so fast.
Have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
My husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay, and I'm not going to push on that apparently, but
of course not. You're part of ABC. My husband is alive. That's all I can say. Well, you said enough in that police report. And of course, they're pushing her gifts in go and all these other things. It's just, oh my gosh. What kind of world are we living in today, guys? Again, just keep up the fight out there. Keep up the fight. And if you're just tuning in, we are heading up north this afternoon. When I get done with this show, I got a couple things to clean up around the house because Easter's on Sunday. So we got to I got to clean up a little for the front yard so we can hide some eggs. Haven't got to work on the yard this week. So I'm going to do 30 minutes of that, then take a shower and then pick up Roberto. And we are going to be heading to Northern California. We're going to bring you a 5150 protest, maybe two, depends how it works out. And again, I want to say thank you for all those who have donated on the bottom of the screen. If you want to help contribute, again, we are 100% viewer funded. Venmo Oreo Josh, Cash App $Oreo Army, and givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. We also have that Zelle link that's on our website. You can go over to theoreoexpress.com and there's a donate now button. We'll probably be live when we take off from here around, I don't know, probably in about 3 hours we'll be on the road. So look for us live around there, just a fun driving chat, having some fun. And then if we can find somewhere to do some street, maybe, I don't know if street interviews, I'm not going to take all the mics and all that stuff. But definitely maybe bring you something fun tonight. I want to say thank you once again for everybody who likes, shares, and subscribes to us. We will see you a little later this afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend. And guys, happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. It's going to be, hopefully you can get to church or watch a church live stream and enjoy some time with some folks. I know we're going to be doing a church and then eating good and just being thankful for that Resurrection Day. So guys, have a great day. We will see you soon and God bless y'all.